You're watching Minister's Material with Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa.
The supernatural life. That is what we are dealing with, right? Okay. There is this scripture in particular that I would want to deal with tonight from the book of Matthew, chapter number 4. So I think we're just going to continue doing what we've been doing for the past few days to give you something a little bit and then come back with questions and answers. But today, let me just throw in something. Chapter number 4 of the book of Matthew and verse number 4. And on that tonight, I'm just going to be talking about the voice of God. Okay? The voice of God under the same topic, the supernatural life. Verse number 4. If we could just read it together, please, 1, 2, go. Thank you. But he answered and said, "It is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God." Okay. One of the things that I've realized in the realms of the Spirit, it is that people find it difficult to understand the voice of God or to distinguish between the voices, whether what they are hearing is from God or whether what they are hearing is from the devil, because he also speaks, and also whether what they are hearing is from themselves. So I'm going to address that problem tonight in a way, and you realize that it will almost seem to be like an introduction into the prophetic, which of course I know that most of you have been waiting for me to also get into that. Because we can't be talking of the supernatural life unless we are able to hear beyond where we are. Are we together? So you just have to make sure that after a while you just continue praying in the Spirit. When I pause, you just pray in the Spirit so that you understand what I'm going to be giving to you tonight. Okay. This is happening after Jesus was led by the Spirit of God into the wilderness, as we all know. He was led there for only one reason, so that he would be tempted. He was led by the Spirit of God into that dry place, just for him to be tempted. And part of the temptation was that the devil came to him. I think I've already covered that side, not here, on how the devil tempted Jesus. He came to Jesus and tempted Jesus. And one of the temptations was, turn these stones into bread that you may eat. Turn these stones into bread and eat, because he was hungry. And the power was there to do that. And it was going to be easy for Jesus to just do that, command these stones to be turned into bread, and then he would eat. But then he answered that temptation by saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes out of the mouth of God. It is written somewhere. There is a written page that man shall not derive his life only from bread. This is what Jesus is saying. Man shall not live. If you see him living, man, it shall not only be because of bread, but man shall live also by every word that comes out of the mouth of God. He's not saying men shall not live by bread. He's saying he shall not live by bread alone. Which means after bread, there still can be life. That can be lived. Shall not live by bread alone, but by every word. Not some of the words. Every word. Words inside of God cannot give you life, but words spoken. When a word comes out of the mouth of God, it gives life. So I'm going to slowly invite you to a place here tonight. And I don't know how I'm supposed to end this as an introduction into the prophetic. But just try to follow, just try to follow. Whichever way it comes to you, just try to put it into order. Imagine all of us here being leaders as we are. And the people that we are leading are not physical people. They are spiritual people, or they are spirits. And every problem that those people have, they are spiritual problems. You are leading spirits, and there are problems that are besetting those spirits, and those problems are also spiritual. And you not being spiritual, how much impact are you going to make in ministry? Dealing with spiritual people that have got spiritual problems and even spiritual needs, how are we going to address such problems unless we are trained on how we can function as spirits? We are going to find ourselves irrelevant, not necessary. All the problems, not some of them, all the problems that we now see, they just manifest in the physical. They are spiritual problems. They only respond to spiritual solutions. So how are we going to do that? If we are not spiritually sensitive, and if we are not able to hear the voice of God or the words of God that gives life. So if God is able to speak, somebody should be able to hear for him to be able to live, not by bread alone. There is life after bread for those that are able to hear every word that comes out of the mouth of God. And I believe as leaders, we should be on the forefront when it comes to hearing and understanding the voice of God. So at the end of this session, not today of course, it will become easy for all of you to either close your eyes or open your eyes. You still see and hear as God speaks. So this time around, I'm just going to prove to you how easy it is to be hearing from God. Not how difficult, how easy it is for you as a leader to be hearing the voice of God. Just imagine. Just think about it. If you're going to be able to hear every word as God speaks, imagine, just think about it. Talk to your neighbor about it. Just let's talk. Let's talk. What a life. No longer just hearing about God, but hearing from God. Now, let me present this life to you. Hearing the voice of God, it is a benefit that is given to every person after the first stage, what I would consider to be the first stage or the first step into hearing God. Hearing not like only once, but hearing God on a daily basis. The first stage is the new birth. The new birth, when you are born again, this you have to understand, and you also have to know how to transfer it to the next generation. When you are born again, we now understand that it is your spirit that is born again. When you get born again, let us not end there.